Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a video talking about my favorite bookish friendship. Basically today I have about 5 books here to show you that include some of my favorite friendships, so let's just jump right into those books. First up, I'm going to get the obvious one out of the way and just mention any the basic friendships in the Shadowhunter world are always my favorite. So I'm holding up Lady Midnight because why not? My actual original favorite, I should be holding up the other book because my actual original favorite squad of them basically is, you know, Jace, Clary, Simon, Isabel, Alec, Magnus. You know what I'm saying. I think you understand me. You know what I'm saying. But also Julian, the Blackthorns, Mark, all the people. Oh my god. Just everybody in here. They're all lovely. So yeah, Lady Midnight. Next up here I have Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, which this book is a historical fiction book that takes place during World War II, and it's about this ship that crashes called the Gustloff something, and I don't know how to pronounce it obviously, but just the ship that sinks, and it's really tragic and no one talks about it, and it was a really big deal. And so yeah, that's what this book is about, and basically we follow 4 teenagers as they're all from different sides and they all come together, and their squad, I can say squad a lot, basically their group was my favorite thing ever. I loved how they were all so different from each other, but they just complemented each other so well, and they were just so many of them, they didn't have much in common at all, except for of course fear, you know, desperation, all those things that go along with war. But other than that, they didn't have many things in common, so it was just interesting seeing how their dynamic worked considering the circumstances, and I just loved it so much, and this book was just so great, so highly recommend this. Here I have This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, which this book is about monsters and what it means to be human and what it means to be a monster, and about a boy named August who is a monster, but he's more human than a monster. And then we have this girl named Kate who's wants to be so ruthless, and she's human but she's sort of the monster-ish, not really, but I think you get where this is going. They have a really nice dynamic. This is a no romance story, and they're just, everything about their chemistry is just great. They both just get along so well, and I love how their friendship develops and how 2 opposites just come together. So I really enjoyed that. About one of my favorite trios ever, and that is from the Mr. Mercedes and the Bill Hodges trilogy. Basically we have Hodges and Holly, and their friendship is one of my favorite things ever. They're so different, all of them, they're completely different. We have Bill Hodges, who's older, at the beginning of these books he's a bit overweight, and he's a detective. He's retired at the beginning of these books, but then he comes together with this young guy named Jerem that helps him solve the case, who's really funny and uses a lot of slang. And then they meet Holly, who's somehow, if you've read it, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to go too in depth how she comes into the story, because that'll get spoilery if I mention her too much. But their trio is one of my favorite trios ever. I love their dynamic. They work together so well. They solve crimes together. They're just the greatest. If you don't know, these are crime mystery thrillers. And this one is about a guy who drives a Mercedes into a lineup of people, and yeah, the case was unsolved. He says, ooh, let's taunt this detective that never caught me, and he writes him a letter. Bill sees this letter, gets pretty provoked, comes out of retirement to try to catch him. So that's what this book's about, and it's just so amazing, and I just love their dynamic together. And last but not least, I have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, and this book is just a YA contemporary book that just came out, and it's about these 2 boys, and one of them was in foster care, and when he was in foster care he lived with the other boy, and then he goes to live with his uncle, and things are complicated now, but they meet again in high school, and they kind of rekindle their friendship, and just their friendship was so beautiful. It was Adam and Julian, and they probably had one of the most heartwarming friendships I've ever read about, especially in a contemporary. They just read this book, please, yes. And there you guys have it. Those are some of my favorite bookish friendships. Let me know down below some of yours, and I would love to hear which friendships in books you think are just lovely, and especially like the squads in each book, because you know there's so much. I just love a good character squad, basically, and I love the dynamic between so many characters, so it's just so lovely to see in books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!